The air was thick with ash. Black smoke rolled across the ruined valley, twisting upward into the bruised sky. Steel wreckage and shattered banners littered the earth. The battle was finished, though the ground still trembled with distant artillery fire. Kilira moved cautiously through the carnage. Her blade, humming with the energy of her people's forges, glowed faintly as she picked her way over the corpses. Her orders had been clear: no survivors. But there was one. She found him half buried in the rubble of a collapsed barricade, a human soldier, his body slumped against broken stone. His left leg was twisted unnaturally, wrapped in bloodied cloth that had long since seeped through. His rifle lay snapped in two at his side. A crippled enemy. A single stroke would finish him. And yet, when his eyes rose to meet hers, they didn't hold fear. Not pleading. Not even hatred. Instead, calm, like he'd been waiting. "You," she said flatly. "Me," he answered, a faint grin tugging at his lips. The audacity of it sent heat up her spine. She had killed dozens today, and none had dared meet her gaze. But this one smiled. "You should be screaming," she muttered, stepping closer. "Begging." "Maybe later," he said. Her grip tightened on her blade. She would wipe that grin from his face. Strike the wounded leg, end it quick. With a sharp breath, she swung. The blade descended with a hiss of power. And then, shatter. The weapon split down the middle, fragments scattering like starlight. The shock tore through her arm, numbing her hand. She staggered back, stunned. Her target, no, her prey, stood slowly, straightening from the rubble. His wounded leg glowed faintly, the cloth burning away to reveal skin that shimmered like steel beneath. Unbroken, unbent, and he smiled wider. The impossible. Kilira's heart thundered. Her blade had cleaved armored tanks, split stone like butter. It did not break, yet it lay in pieces at her feet. "You're not human," she hissed. The soldier, no, the thing before her, rolled his shoulder casually. "Funny. That's what your kind kept telling me." Her eyes narrowed. She'd heard whispers. The humans had been experimenting, desperate to forge champions who could stand against her people's warriors. Most experiments ended in screams and ash. But what if one hadn't? "What are you?" she demanded. His grin faded, replaced by a shadow of something darker. "A mistake. A weapon. Depends who you ask." She drew her second blade, though her hand trembled. "Then you're abomination." "Maybe," he said quietly. "But I'm free." The clash. Kilira lunged, fury driving her. Her blade arced for his throat, her strength sharpened by rage. He didn't dodge. He caught the edge in his bare hand, caught it, and with a flick of his wrist, the blade snapped like brittle glass. She stumbled back, disbelief stealing her breath. He advanced, step by step, limping slightly but unstoppable. His body moved with human familiarity, yet every motion radiated something more, something alien, wrong, indomitable. "You fight well," he said. "But you're used to prey falling before the first strike." Her jaw clenched. "You will fall." She attacked again, kicks, elbows, a flurry of strikes honed from decades of training. He absorbed them all, his flesh ringing like tempered iron. When she tried to sweep his legs, he stood firm, immovable. Finally, he shoved her backward, sending her skidding across the dirt. Not brutal, just final. And then he laughed. Not mocking, not cruel. Joyful. "You're strong," he said breathlessly. "Stronger than any of the others they threw at me." Her chest burned with something she didn't recognize. Pride. No. She refused. He was prey. An enemy. A broken experiment. Yet the sound of his laughter unsettled her more than his strength. Cracks in the mask. "Why smile?" she demanded. "Why laugh when I try to kill you?" His grin softened. Because I can feel again. The scientists, the ones who made me, they said I'd be a weapon, nothing more. But fighting you, his voice broke, just for a moment. Fighting you makes me feel alive. Human. Her throat tightened. His words struck deeper than blades. Her people had been raised to despise weakness, to bury emotion beneath steel. Yet in his broken, impossible smile, she saw something unshattered. "What is your name?" she heard herself ask. He blinked, surprised. "Darius." "Darius," she repeated slowly, tasting the alien syllables. "And you?" For a heartbeat, silence. Then, "Kilira." Revelations. They circled one another in the smoke-filled valley, no longer certain who hunted whom. "Your people will send more," Darius said. "For me. For you. They can't allow this. You can't allow me." He was right. Every instinct screamed at her to strike, to end him now before the truth spread. Yet her arms felt heavy. Her shattered blades whispered failure at her feet. "Maybe I should kill you," she said, though her voice lacked its usual steel. "Maybe you should," he admitted. Then, softly, "But will you?" His silver-gleaming leg caught the dying sunlight, a reminder of what he was, and what he wasn't. Her people would call him abomination. But in his steady eyes, she saw not monstrosity, but defiance. "Survival. Perhaps we are both mistakes," she murmured. "No," he said firmly. "Survivors. The choice." The silence pressed heavy. She should finish him. One strike, one kill, and her honor would remain untarnished. But her heart, traitorous, whispered another path. She looked down at the fragments of her blade, once unbreakable, now broken. A symbol, perhaps, of the world she had known. Kilira lifted her gaze back to him. For the first time, she let her weapon fall from her grasp. Darius's eyes widened, then softened. "I expected a scream," she said quietly. "But you smiled." He gave a weary grin. "And you didn't finish me when you could." For a moment, predator and prey stood equal. Enemies by blood, allies by circumstance. Something unspoken bound them in that ruined valley. Epilogue. The war raged on elsewhere, uncaring. But here, in the smoke and silence, something shifted. They left the battlefield not as hunter and hunted, not as enemy and experiment, but as two who had seen beyond the armor of flesh and steel. She had struck his wounded leg, expecting a scream. Instead, her blade shattered. And he smiled.